Behind every smiling leader, every promise of salvation, every pledge of protection, lies the risk of betrayal. When those in power cross the line, the cost isn't just money, it's lives, faith, and freedom. This is broken trust. A federal investigation has uncovered what prosecutors call one of the most brazen religious frauds in recent history. At the center of it all, David Taylor and Michelle Brannon, two self-proclaimed leaders of the Kingdom of God Global Church. Federal agents say their operation pulled in at least $50 million since 2014, but instead of helping the vulnerable, that money went to luxury cars, mansions, yachts, and even $10,000 worth of seafood.
Court records show they used the funds to purchase several Mercedes and Bentleys, a Rolls-Royce, a boat, 5 ATVs and jet skis, as well as $10,000 worth of seafood, plus this home in Avila worth more than $9 million.
You're looking at 2 FBI raids in 2 states.
Court documents reveal the depth of their extravagance. Multiple Mercedes and Bentleys, a Rolls-Royce, a $9 million mansion, jet skis, ATVs, and more. All of it funded by unpaid labor. Victims lured by promises of spiritual fulfillment, forced instead to make endless phone calls, raise donations, and serve Taylor's empire. The so-called apostle even described himself as Jesus' best friend.
Investigators say David Taylor, who refers to himself as apostle and Jesus' best friend, and his second-in-command, Michelle Brannon, lured people in nationwide with promises to fulfill their spiritual hunger and work as unpaid phone solicitors at call centers to serve as Taylor's arm bearers in Michigan, Missouri, Texas, and even here in Florida, including Tampa and Ocala.
The indictment tells a chilling story. Members were pressured to meet quotas. If they fell short, there were consequences. Punishments that included food being withheld, isolation, and even physical violence. In one shocking text message, Brannon ordered, quote, 7 of the top closers need to go in the garage in Tampa now. Also, I want food taken away.
Tampa. This indictment filed in July shows since 2013, their victims were required to make a specific number of calls or raise a specific dollar amount, and if they did not meet their quota, there were consequences, physical violence, and psychological abuse. In one case, court records show Brannon texted 7 of the top closers need to go in the garage in Tampa now. Also, I want food taken away. The indictment reveals that this forced labor scheme resulted in at least $50 million in donations since 2014, which Taylor and Brannon said would be spent on supporting victims of human trafficking, all while they are now accused of committing that crime.
After years of operating unchecked, the FBI finally moved in. Raids in North Carolina and Florida ended with both leaders in custody. David Taylor was arrested in Durham, while Michelle Brannon was taken into custody in Tampa. Brannon stood before a federal judge without legal representation. Both now face extradition to Michigan, where the case was first filed. Prosecutors have unsealed an indictment charging David Taylor and Michelle Brannon with fraud and related counts. Both were taken into custody in separate raids, Taylor in Durham and Brannon in Tampa, and now face extradition to Michigan, where the case was first filed. From pulpits to prisons, from faith to fraud, this is what happens when trust is broken. The case of David Taylor and Michelle Brannon is still unfolding, but one thing is certain. The people they exploited will carry the scars long after the headlines fade. You're watching Broken Trust, where power is corrupted and the people pay the price.